what's up? It's Mila and I'm back with another review / recap of Casey Undercover. I'm back. Sorry I took so long with that one because I was trying to figure out what I was thinking of. But it was Casey Undercover into the part dos. But yeah, anyway, so we on this episode basically I'm just like, okay, like, is Casey in too deep or is Casey in too deep? Like, really? Is she faking or is she really in too deep? Which I didn't know, and I was like, oh my god, is Casey in too deep? Like, me and Ernie, we was freaking out, and I was freaking out too. And then Marissa was freaking out, and then Craig was like, I don't even, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, okay, whatever. And I think this episode was pretty good. It was a lot of good fighting scenes in there. You know what I'm saying? I had some good battle scenes going on. I liked how they was fighting and hitting each other, and I liked how, spoiler, Craig and Casey fought. We need to tell later. But Craig and Casey fought, and I like that part when they had to fight me. I was like, ooh, and then Craig did some type of Eddie move, and I'm like, whoa, and I was like, that was so cool. Like, I know they get stuntmen to do this. Like, I know Casey tried to do, because they try to do all of her moves, but I know they do stuntmen with, like, everybody else too, because, like, you could tell when they do the cuts in between. But then, at the end, oh my god, Casey's hair was on fleek. I was like, what the heck is that? But it looked good, even though I didn't consider top right. The rest of the hair looked good. It was like blonde and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And Judy and Kira was not in this episode. I'm like, where was they? They was absent, but whatever. Anyway, so it started off with, this is what happened. So they was chanting, yes we can, yes we can, yes we can. I was like, oh okay, oh okay. So Casey was getting dressed. You know, she was all dressed up, you know what I'm saying? Like, where is she getting dressed up at? Is she still staying at the house? Or did she ever come home? Like, does any... Anyway, but Jane was like, look, we want some money, so put some money in a jar. And she's telling everybody. So then she was like, can I have a word with you, Casey? Casey's like, yeah, you can have every word, but except for one word, juicy. That word just like, you know, juicy. Like, she don't like the word juicy. And so she was like, look, I need you to do something for me. So Casey was like, look, I switched to 1-ply toilet paper for you. I'm fully committed. So yeah. So Jay needs her to be real dirty. Casey's like, how soon can I get my hands dirty? She was like, Anyway, so Ernie was like, this is crazy. It's like incense burning crazy. So then he's like, she changed. She stopped using deodorant and using harmful chemicals. Then Craig was like, look, did they break you too and make you stop using deodorant because you stink? Basically, he was like, look, it's all mind games and this and that. I always tell her to don't break the armor. Keep doing it, going deep. So then he's like, oh, so when you put me down and embarrass me, you do that to make me stronger. He's like, yeah, Ernie, just go with it. Just forget it. So Craig was like, look, a good agent, he can't show a crack, don't do this and that, you know. He was like, okay. Ernie was like, look, I promise not to do something crazy. And then he was like, then when Craig left, Craig was like, Ernie was like, Marissa, I'm going rogue, I'm gonna need you to do this. So she's like, okay. And I'm like, what? Marissa just walked right into the house. Anyway, so Jane was like, the queen of this country. She got 40 carats of diamonds of Monrovia. She's like, then Casey's like, move over to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's a new rock in town, because she had 40 carats of diamond, a 40 carat diamond necklace when her people are eating poorly and they don't have no food. So she's like, okay. She need Casey to steal the Monrovian ambassador, the one that Craig is supposed to be watching. I'm like, okay. So she's like, look, I can give him a real nasty paper cut, the one that's in between thumb wear, where you go reach for something and then open back up when you thought it was healed, or I can give him a wet willy or a dry willy. She's like, no. I want you to do anything at all. Just bring him to me. So Kate is like taking the fun out of it, but okay. So Marissa's like, we need to do this. Ernie's like, look, I'm experienced. I'm gonna need you to do this. He's like, look, I'm gonna need you to be Nadine Klansky. You was on a figure skating team, but then you did a horrible double back turn. You ended up injuring yourself. Then you just felt bad. You moved from Dayton, Ohio to freaking DC to join the Volunteers. Bam. So then Marissa was like, look, I know this took a lot of effort, which that means was pretty stupid, because this not even leading nowhere, so we need a real plan. So she was like, look, you're going to have to work on your backstory and your front story, because your fly is open again. And Ernie was smiling. I was like, okay, Ernie. But anyway, I kind of like how everybody always put Ernie down. Like, I always say, like, Ernie, that could hurt Ernie emotionally. Okay, thanks, Leo. Thank you a lot. That could hurt Ernie emotionally. I'm just like, they shouldn't be doing that to Ernie. Like, they shouldn't. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, buddy, this is Leo. He's your baby. Who's your baby boy? Comment if you got a dog. No, comment if you have a real animal. Like, don't comment the words that I'm saying. Just comment if you got a real animal. Casey was in position. She's like, nothing can go wrong. So she's like, I can handle a donut loving mall cop. And then she's like, well, I got the donut loving part because she realized it was Craig. So the ambassador guy was like, look, you're being too overprotective, Craig. And Craig was like, I'm not being overprotective. This is how I am. So then he was like, Casey fell in, and the guy was like, be overprotective, be overprotective. So they started fighting. I was like, oh my God, yes. They started fighting, and it was freaking crazy. They was going back. It was like, bam, bam. Craig was like, she get there. He was like, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Anyway, so she's like, sorry, Dad, you know, you taught me no cracks in the armor. So I was like, oh, so she was undercover. Okay. Okay. So, she's like, did someone order a Monrovian ambassador in a paper bag? So she's like, look, I'm gonna need that information. So Jane was like, leave. So then she's like, well, can I stay? She's like, no, why don't you leave? She's like, you know what, I really don't have anything to do, so let me just quack a Scott right here. So she's like, leave. So in case was just like, she was like, leave. And in case it's like, fine, I'll leave. I thought we was taking bodily harm at the table, but whatever. So she left, and then she was like, don't forget to stay, keep the door because you got a boy in your room. I'm like, oh. Meanwhile, Marissa like, we should change the chant. We should change it to, we want freedom and revolution, but not on a Friday night when others have plans, okay? So, yeah. So, she was like, she used her cover, her Canadian cover, and then the other kids left. She was trying to go let Ernie, and she ended up closing the window on Ernie's fingers. I'm just like Ernie already got enough to deal with. But, yeah, so she was like, look, they made me drink kombucha with bacteria, mushrooms, and didn't taste good, and it don't sound good. So, yeah. Craig was like, Agent Johnson, remember that ambassador I was supposed to be watching? Well, somebody came in and knocked me out and took him. So he's like, okay, I can find him. So he's like, well, is this him right here? They had his dental records. They had teeth. And from an explosion that happened, Jane was smiling like, he's like, you said we never was going to eliminate him. He's like, oh, I didn't say that. So he's like, is it, something stinks in here. And this is not your rotten corpse. I know it's not your rotten corpse, you Moravian ambassador. He wasn't dead. He faked his own death because now he can get the money. He can transfer $1 billion to an identified account so they can both get clean lives and split it together. I'm like, we the heck. So Casey's like, wow, real shady. You was doing all your speeches, getting on your Oprah on. She's like, look, at first I did care, but that's a lot of work. And the more you have, the less you care about people who don't have any money. And I'm like, okay, Jane. You see what they trying to show us, that the good people are really bad? Like, bruh. I thought she was making a movement, but I guess not. Yeah, so Casey's like, well, I hope you like dropping a deuce with an audience because you going to jail. So she's like, look, sweetheart, I've been trained in 17 martial arts and you're not going to know what hit you. And they're probably that old Joe there. She's about to beat her to a pulp until Ernie opened up the door and knocked her out. And he was like, oh my God, you monster, why would you do that? And Jane was just like, you stupid. So she ended up tying them up. She's like, look, paper trail, you know what paper trails can lead to? And it was like, it changing the humanity and ending it. And then she was like, no, you would always get rid of it. So then Casey's like, something's going on. So then Ernie was like, no, let me finish, let me figure this out. So she's like, look, it's fire, it's smoke. And it's like, oh my God, we gonna get barbecue. So Ernie's like, well, we gotta make the most of it. And he's like, you better thank me. She's like, we tied up with no oxygen barely. And you want me to use a little bit that I have to thank you? And he was like, yeah, I want to kill you. She's like, it could kill me. It could. So, she didn't do it. So then she was like, look, you better become people jerky. The robot came in, sucked the air. They was like, Dad. And Craig was like, yeah, I am a top spy. Busted in, saved you. This is kind of a thing. So, yeah, he's like, look. She's like, look, see, that's how you rescue somebody because we both conscious right now. So then he was like, look, I know you, Casey. She's like, I had a ski mask on. He's like, yeah, but you did that legendary double punch crux kick of father-daughter dance of destruction. So then Ernie was like, wait, you knew it was her because she had X-ray vision? Oh my God. She was like, if you did not attack Ernie, it wouldn't be at your fault because just don't attack him. Oh, don't attack Ernie. Yeah. So Ernie was pretty hurt that his dad did not teach him the freaking thing. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty hurtful. He could have taught him that. He could have. So then Craig was like, I'm just doing it. It's all mind games. Make you stronger. So then Craig was like, that boy will believe anything. I'm just like, really? Okay. Casey was playing Crazy Eights with Marissa and Ernie like they don't have phones or like they don't have like a video game console where they could be playing this by playing another game. Like that was really weird that they was playing Crazy Eights. But anyway, so look, she was like, okay, I feel like a failure. And Ernie's like, well, you get used to it. So Marissa's like, look, my execution was pretty crucial in this mission. And then Ernie was like, spies don't brag. She's like, good day because I was excelente. So yeah. So they was like, look, keep your mind on the card. So she's like, look, I got a 3 of a kind. It's like, oh, we playing crazy eights. She's like, that's right. So then Marissa turned it to diamonds. And the case is like, diamonds, that's it. And Ernie was like, yeah, now it's hearts. I never played crazy eights. I just play spades and goldfish. But yeah. Anyway, so she was like, she was obsessed with the 40-carat Monrovian royal diamonds. So then they looked it up. They saw the auction was going on in Monrovia. So she had to go Monrovia. I'm like, oh my God. Jane was there. She was bidding $5 million. But every time she bid like $1 million, then freaking Casey came in disguise, looking flawless, with her hair off fleek blonde. She was like $5,001,001. So then she was like, who are you? And she's like, oh, you must be confused. I am Nikita Waka Flocka Bernstein. So then she was like, I never heard of you before. And then she's like, well, I'm also known as I don't even care anymore because I care about the planet and you don't. So then Jane was like, ugh, Casey. And she's like, eh, ugh. And then they started fighting. It was like, yes, it was lit. She's like, that's for not caring for the world. That's for taking over those teens. That's what made me cash in my miles for my flight. I was going to Paris, but I had to come here to get you. So she started fighting. She beat that girl up to a pulp. And then I think like halfway killed her. So she was like, look, so to the stunning teenager who always get the man or woman. Then she ended up breaking an artifact. And then she's like, just build that to the organization. And I'm just like, wow. How was she even paid for the stuff she bid it on? Like, seriously. Like, seriously. But anyway, so Craig was going to teach Ernie the trick. Ernie's like, look, I'm padding. He was like, you don't have to pad. You hitting me. Somebody probably dropped you on your head before. So Ernie was like, I can't do it. He's like, yeah, I know you can do it because you're too weak. You're too soft. He was going on. And Ernie punched him and flew him over the thing. So then he's like, I don't think I did it right. So then Craig was like, yeah, but it was close enough. I'm like, he's like, you too weak. You too... I'm like, really? When your daddy was mad at you for not becoming a doctor and you became a spy? Really, Craig? You going to teach your son like that? Okay, I see. Anyway, that was the end. They have virtual reality. Oh my God, they need to save Ernie. They in VR. Oh my God, Monstober is here, guys, because it's next week. It's October. It's Monstober. I used to get so I'm like, oh my God, okay, Monstober. I get it. We're gonna get all the spooky time. It's spooky time, guys. Really on Disney Channel because it's Monstober. You know they got January, like all the new shows go on January, and all this and that. So I'm just like, okay. But yeah, guys, so that was the window. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to check out my Bizarre video. It's going to be up after this. And I will see you guys next time with Nene. With, oh, this is wrong. Okay, bye. Ugh.